Alright, boys and girls, welcome to the DFS experience for week 3 of our NFL season. This video is going to be brought to you by our friends over at Thrive Fantasy, the player prop website where you can play against the house or play against other players in contest format. You got Josh Allen up on the screen, 270 and a half total passing yards. If you choose over, you get 95. If you choose under, you get 105. We got Raheem Mostert, 56 and a half total rushing yards. If you get over, you get 110 points. If you choose under, you get 90 points. If you use my promo code DFS Shopper, you do get a deposit match up to 250, or you can use the link that's in my description. All right, boys and girls, this is going to be a lineup builder video. It is Tuesday. It's very early. We're not going to go crazy. We're just going to narrow down the player pool with the information we have right now. And then later on in the week, if there's a lot more information to unpack, then we'll just make a second video with an updated final look video. There was supposed to be a final look video last week, but I was a little bit under the weather. But new week, and here we are. So let's get this show on the road. We're going to start with DraftKings. Let's get this shit centered. All right, well, we got Mr. Mahomeboy, Patrick Mahomes on the screen, looking scrumptious. Pause. Going up against Chicago, 8,300 is his salary. Obviously, he's a good play. The issue is who you're going to pair him with. You can't really run Mahomes naked. He doesn't really run like that. He can run, but he doesn't run like that. 7 rushing attempts. Last game 6. The one before that. Is that enough to run him naked? I don't know. I wouldn't run him naked. But if you wanted to, you could. It's definitely something you can do. But I wouldn't run him naked. I would run him with one of his receivers or his tight end. But Mahomes is absolutely in play. He's always in play, but he's especially in play against Chicago. Josh Allen against Washington. Absolutely in play. Josh Allen's always in play. I'm not going to look at the first week against the Jets because the Jets always give everyone a hard time. Josh Allen was looking more like himself against Vegas. 37 attempts, 3 touchdowns, 3 rushing attempts. Looking more like himself. You can fire up Josh Allen. Absolutely pair him with one of his receivers or one of his tight ends. He has a lot of weapons, so it's going to be very hard to narrow down who you want to pair him with. You could absolutely pair him with Diggs, but Diggs is always expensive, so that kind of messes up your lineup construction unless you have value plays ready to roll. If you have value plays ready to roll, then you can fire up Allen and Diggs. No problem. Lamar Jackson. What's his injury status looking like? Stinger. All right, so he's looking like he's going to play. No problem. Lamar Jackson. Now, Lamar Jackson, you can absolutely run naked, as we all know. If you could find somebody to pair him with, one of his receivers, have at it, but you could run him naked also. 12 rushing attempts, 54 yards. And you know the rushing touchdowns are absolutely coming. So Lamar Jackson, listen, Herbert against Minnesota, great matchup, high total. You can fire him up. Fields, I don't know, looking a little shaky to me. I don't really need on a slate with all these teams playing. I don't really need Justin Fields, so he's not going to be in my player pool. I'm not going to play that many lineups where I need Justin Fields. If you want to play Justin Fields, congratulations. Tua, fire him up. You absolutely know you're pairing him with one of his receivers. Cousins. I play Cousins. Cousins is always low owned. You're gonna pair him with Jefferson. This shit ain't really too much rocket science. Lawrence, a little bit disappointing with his numbers for the first couple games. I'm looking for him to have a breakout game. I like the attempts. The attempts are there. Touchdowns are down. he's going to be low on. Go right back to him. I'd go right back to him. Pair him with one of his receivers, and because he's been down last couple of weeks, his ownership should be down also. Richardson, we got to see if he's playing. Concussion protocol, those usually last a few weeks, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll see. I'm not really going to talk about him. We'll see if he gets cleared. If he gets cleared, then we'll talk about him in the next video. If not, then you just play somebody else. Prescott against Arizona. Look, he's in the player pool. You're gonna pair him with a receiver, but I'm never thrilled to play Dak Prescott, to be honest with you. Goff against Atlanta. Atlanta is Atlanta's giving up 133 passing yards for this season. Goff against Atlanta. Listen, I'm gonna choose Goff. I'm not gonna let Atlanta's defense scare me off. I will play Goff. I will pair him with one of his receivers, but just keep in mind that Atlanta is playing a little bit better on defense. So, do with that information what you will. But like I said, Goff is in the player pool, but Atlanta's defense is a little bit different this season. Like I said, they're giving up 133 passing yards a game. So you're gonna need a hell of a lot more yards than 133 if you're trying to cash with Goff. You feel me? Watson, he didn't look too. Listen, I don't really watch. I don't really get time to watch a full NFL game from beginning to end. To be honest with you, I end up watching them later on, like the after when I replayed them. But I'm gonna tell you something. I watched Cleveland. I watched Deshaun Watson. He didn't look too spectacular to me, to be honest with you. So I don't know what the fuck's going on with him, but I don't think I need him on this slate, to be honest with you. I don't think I need him in my lineup. Saying I don't even know if you could play him naked. If you do play him, I think you still got to pair him with one of his guys, one of his receivers. 6 attempts, 22 yards. 5 attempts, 45 yards. He did get a rushing touchdown the first game, but he hasn't looked spectacular to me. Wilson, Smith, I'm not touching. Not on this slate. Carr. Now I don't really need these guys. I'm not really gonna be paying down for quarterback. Stroud, Young. I don't think I'm touching any of these guys as of now. And once I get to my final lineups, and I have a fire lineup with weapons, running backs, receivers, tight ends, and I need to pay down at quarterback, then I'll cross that bridge. As of now, I don't feel like I need to pay down for quarterback. Let's go to running back. Eckler's always in play. We already know that. Eckler's a fantasy demon. He has an ankle injury. We're not going to talk about him right now. Ankles don't heal overnight, so once we find out he's healthy and ready to play, then we'll talk about him. But I'm not going to talk about him right now. Pollard's always in play. Chubb, he's cooked. I mean that with all due respect. Robinson, you're playing. Like, Robinson's amazing. We know that. Derrick Henry's still always in play. I just need the attempt from him. 15 the first game, 25 the second game, 80 yards, 1 touchdown. Going up against Cleveland. Hold on one second. Cleveland is giving up 65 rushing yards a game. I don't know. Do you want to choose Cleveland's rush defense, or do you want to choose Derrick Henry? That's up to you. I don't think I'll be getting to Derrick Henry in one of my first few lineups. ATN against Jacksonville, against Houston. fuck is going on with him? Let me see. Team's availability. All right, well, he should be playing. So if he plays, you can run him by himself, or you can run him with his quarterback, Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones is in play if he plays. What's wrong with this guy? Hamstring. I don't like fucking around with running backs with hamstring issues, but we'll see how healthy he is going into Sunday. Stevenson against the Jets. You can take a shot on Stevenson. Gibbs, you can going up against Atlanta's defense again. Here we go. You could take a shot on Gibbs if you have to. With no Montgomery, you could take a shot on him. I'm fine with that. Cook against Washington. He's in play. Connor's in play. Kenneth Walker's in play against Carolina. Mostert's in play. 6K. Montgomery had a quad injury? Montgomery had a thigh. So there's a thigh injury. So we'll see what's going on with him getting closer to Sunday. But if he doesn't play, Gibbs looks a little bit better. Now, I'm not thrilled. Like I said, I'm not thrilled going up against Atlanta's defense. But if you have no Montgomery, I like Gibbs a little bit better. You feel me? Addison, you could take a shot. Robinson, against Buffalo, you could take a shot. You could throw him in your Buffalo stacks. Dillon looks better if there's no Jones. You know that. Sanders against Seattle, you could take a shot. Williams, if he's healthy, we know he left this game. Another hamstring injury. These fucking running backs are fucked. Jesus Christ. All right, we're going to see what's going on with Jamal Williams close to Sunday. Now, I prefer a healthy running back, like a healthy running back, because of the wear and tear on that position. So you don't want them to do 3 snaps and then they're out the game, and then your day is over. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to need me healthy running backs. I'm not going to be playing these questionable guys on that unless they're 100% healthy. I'm not going to be playing them. That's just me. If you want to roll the dice on these fucking fools, take a shot. They're absolutely in play, but I'm just not going to play that style. Cook and Hall, I'm not touching the Jets. Sorry. I'm not going to touch them. Kelly, if there's no Eckler, you could take a shot on him. Kelly, no Eckler, 13 attempts, 39 yards. He was putrid. And I don't use that word often. Javonte Williams against Miami, you could throw him in a Miami stack. You feel me? When I say throw him in a Miami stack, for those of you that aren't too familiar with these terms, that means you play like Tua and fuck is his name? And Hill, and maybe a tight end or something, and then you run it back with Javonte Williams and maybe Sutton or one of these wide receivers. And the idea of that is you're looking for a shootout in this game. You're looking for a high-scoring game. You're looking for a shootout where they're going back and forth so you could rack up your fantasy points. So that's what you're really looking for. Pacheco, you can take a shot. I don't really mess with the Baltimore running backs. I usually don't. Justice Hill had what? 11 attempts, 3 targets. 11 attempts, 3 targets. Gus Edwards had 10 attempts and a touchdown. So they're sharing the touches. And if Lamar Odom, what the fuck am I talking about? And if Lamar Jackson plays, then he's going to be absolutely getting some of those touches also. So be very careful with your Baltimore running backs. Anybody else down here I'm gonna be looking at? Maybe a Hubbard if you need some salary relief. But honestly, as of right now, I'm not gonna be looking at any of these guys until one of these starting running backs get ruled out. Then we have to go to one of their number twos, one of their backups. So until then, I'm not really gonna be looking at them because at the end of the day, when you're playing fantasy sports, the idea is to rack up the most fantasy points. If you're playing backup running backs trying to be cute or whatever, and they get 2 touches and 10 yards, and you get one fantasy point out of them, and you don't cash, what are you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? So, let's go to wide receiver. Okay. Now, I did mention. Hold on a second. So I did mention Cousins earlier. Pairing Cousins and Jefferson can never go wrong. Cousins actually been playing well for the beginning of this season. Let's just look at his 44 attempts. I love it. 344 yards, 364 yards, 2 touchdowns, 4 touchdowns. So you're pairing a guy with those numbers with arguably the best cornerback. Oh my god, I need a fucking drink. The best wide receiver in the game. Then you're gonna want to fire up Jefferson. Jefferson's in play. Hill's in play. Diggs is in play. St. Brown, if he plays, you fire him up. Lamb, I don't like Prescott like that, but you can fire him up with Prescott. Keenan Allen, you definitely fire him up with Herbert. I have no problem double stacking Waddle if he's in. You're just gonna need some value. Ridley, you could go back to Ridley. I know he ain't have the second game wasn't like the first game, but that's when you go back to him. Olave, you can play naked. You don't really need his quarterback. Metcalf. If Metcalf is playing, you could play him naked. Also, Garrett Wilson. I'm kind of scared of the Jets, especially with all the information that came out after the game. I think I'm gonna just stay away from the Jets. A lot of teams are playing. Got a lot of good players. I don't need to put myself in that position. Judy, I'm not. Nah, I don't need Judy. Needs a Lockett. You could take a shot. Hopkins, Pittman, Mike Williams. You go take shots on those guys. Gabe Davis. You could take a shot. Cooper. You could take a shot. I don't really need anything. I'm not really feeling Chicago's offense. Could stay away from that. McLaurin, Addison, Flowers, Kurt, Michael Thomas, all in play. Nico Collins, fire him up. Sutton, Bourne. I don't even want London, to be honest with you. Six receptions, 67 yards, 1 touchdown. I'm still scared of Drake London. Brown, Dobbs, Elijah Moore. If you need these guys for value, fine. Lazard, I'll stay away from. Kadarius Toney, you could fire. You could pair him with my homeboy. No problem. Moore, you could fire him up. Pair him with Mahomes. Reynolds, you could fire him up with Goff. Shaheed, you could take a shot. Scanlon, you could take a shot. Osborne, you could take a shot with Cousins. Throw him in that Minnesota stack. Mims, Thielen, Parker, Samuel, Barrios if you need value. Tank Dell, take a shot. 3 receptions the first game, 7 the second. and that's with 10 targets. So that I love the target. That's what I'm looking for. Fuck the reception. I'm looking at the target. What does the targets mean? That means how often is this their quarterback throwing to them. You feel me? If you're throwing to them a lot or often, that's always a good sign. That means that there's chemistry, and that means that there's more targets to come. Um, 10 targets, 7 receptions, 1 touchdown. That's what I'm looking for. 3,200. Um, Collins, Woods, Dell. Those receivers look tight, kind of, kind of healthy. C.J. Stroud, 44 attempts, 47 attempts, 2 touchdowns in the last game against Indiana. 5,300. Okay. Going up against Jacksonville. Numbers look kind of good. I guess I gotta watch some C.J. Stroud video. Maybe watch some Houston video. I didn't watch the game, so I'm not gonna sit here and fucking tell you some shit. But the numbers do look good. Um, Houston looks good. The quarterback and their wide receivers, they look good. Let's just check the running back while we're at it. 15 attempts. 15 attempts is fine. And they're going up against Jacksonville, so I like Houston. Let me just see something real quick. Hold on 1 second. Uno momento. I just want to check my Houston 43.5. 43.5 over under. Jacksonville is favored by 9. I like Houston. Okay. Let's get back to our wide receivers. Okay, I think we got a pretty deep player pool. We're already in the 3Ks. Yeah, so let's just go to tight end. Let's build this lineup. Let's get out of here. I was gonna make this a DraftKings and FanDuel video, but seeing how in depth we went with this player pool, I think I'm gonna just build a DraftKings lineup, and I'm gonna just build it. All right, we'll see. Kelsey, fire him up. We already know that Hawkinson, you throwing him in your cousin stacks. Andrew, you can play him without Lamar if you want. You can play him with him. Ingram, you want to pair with Lawrence. Komet, I don't know. Play him by himself. I'm kind of off the Justin Fields train right now. Njaku, however the fuck you say his name. If you want to pair him with fucking Loverboy Watson, you can. But I don't think you need to do that on the slate. Henry, you could take a shot. Henry, you could take a shot on. You want to pair him with Mac Jones? How about it? Laporta, you could pair with Goff. Pitts, you could take a shot in a stat or put him in a Detroit stat. You could put him in an Atlanta stack if you're playing a lot of lineups. Everett, you could take a shot. Hurst, you could take a shot. Schultz, you could pair him with his quarterback. Chawan, you could take a shot. Ertz. Conklin, I'm not touching. Kincaid, you could take a shot. Knox, you could take a shot. Granson, Logan Thomas, Troutman. I think I'll stop right there. I think I'll stop at Troutman. Like I said, I don't need to be playing a million tight ends. But those guys I'm fairly confident in. Those guys I'm fairly confident in. And with Kelsey back, you don't need Noah Gray. So I'll stop right there for the tight ends. Let's just build this lineup and see what's up. So with all that shit that we just went through, I'm kind of feeling my Houston quarterback. However, I haven't actually seen him. I haven't watched this game. 47 attempts though. Kind of spicy. 5,300. Let's do it. Let's fire him up. Let's fire up Stroud. Let's pair him with one of his receivers. Let's maybe 2 receivers. You want to do that? 9 targets. All right, let's double stack Houston with the salary that we're saving playing Stroud. We can bring it back with Mr. Ridley. And if you really want to jump out the window, we could do Ingram too. And then here you go. You got a nice little game stack. And you have a decent amount of money. You know what? Let's do this. Let's take out Ingram and let's put in a running back. ETN is kind of pricey. Let's take out Jacksonville. And let's find a cheaper running back. Pacheco. Pierce. Hubbard. Let's go back up. Breece Hall. A healthy Breece Hall. 4 attempts is crazy. 4 attempts is fucking crazy. I think we could do. I know I said I don't want to play. I know I said I didn't want to play the Jets, but to be honest with you, 5,600 for Breece Hall is a little bit of a value, but this is what we're gonna do. 5,700. We're gonna go with Miles Sanders. That's what we're doing. We're going with Miles Sanders for the value. So we're gonna go Stroud, Sanders, Collins, Woods, and we're gonna bring it back with Ridley in this Houston stack. That's what we're gonna do. So this is gonna be our DraftKings lineup. We got almost 30 minutes. That's what we're gonna do. We are gonna go to FanDuel. We're gonna make a quick lineup, and then we're gonna get the fuck out of here. Because I really didn't intend for this video to be that long, but it's a lot of good plays on here, and you know, I want to help you guys out as best as I can. So we're gonna go to FanDuel. If you're new here, welcome. I appreciate you taking the time to watch my video. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Hit the bell, thumbs up. And if you need me to build you your own lineups, or you want my finalized optimal lineup before Sunday morning, you check out my Patreon, link in the description. Now, like I said, I will continue to build these lineups for you, these lineup building videos. On this video, I'm gonna need you guys to get me 40 likes. I know you could do it. You guys are amazing, and I really mean it. You guys are amazing. So 40 likes. Let's keep this shit going. Let's go to FanDuel. Let's build a quick lineup. I'm not here to take up your time. All right, we just did one with Stroud from Houston, and this video, I mean on FanDuel. On FanDuel, let me give y'all something. Let me give y'all something safe. Let's go with my tried and true Kirk Cousins. Tried and true. Let's fire him up with some Jefferson. Let's go to let's double stack. Let's double stack Minnesota. Addison or Osborne. Which one? Let's do Addison. If you need more salary relief, then you can just go to Osborne. No problem. We got Addison. Let's go to the Chargers and let's bring it back. Probably can't bring it back with Keenan Allen, but you know what? Fuck it. YOLO. All right, we're running it back with Keenan Allen. Let's find a cheap running back so that when you continue to build this lineup, it wouldn't be too hard. Like most start, let's see. Stevenson against the Jets. Madison. Connor. Hold on. Let's just check something. Let me check something. Just bear with me. Running back. Stevenson. Most start. Yeah, most start grades out well for me. So let me just do most start. And what does that leave us with? 53.79. So you can absolutely finish this lineup off. 50.75. You can finish this lineup off. If you're having trouble completing this lineup, then just take out Keenan Allen, or you could play the other receiver for Minnesota. But Kirk Cousins and Jefferson in this lineup is